I wouldn't say if you were like, what industry would you choose to enter right now? It would be like tech. Like, we did have like a bank collapse and no funding really going on. And I think over 300,000 tech layoffs. So, I mean, it hasn't exactly been great. But what I thought was interesting is there's always this narrative around, and I was like sharing this on social, but there's always this narrative around like industries being recession proof. But I don't think anything is so much recession proof, or if that's as much of the issue all the times, as it is market positioning proof. In other words, like in any vertical, what I found is when things get bad, the best companies are usually spending more and taking market share.
Yeah.
Because the little ones who didn't have product market fit or price market fit or feature market fit, whatever you want to call it, of like why they weren't growing, they usually don't have a huge cash reserves. They usually don't have a ton of retention. And then all of a sudden they start getting gobbled up by the big boys. And I think a little bit Directive is getting to that point now where it's serving the best players in each of the software verticals. And that's who we were closing in March. We were closing the market leaders in every vertical. And I think that's what made us have a good March, even when I know our peers who are agencies servicing tech companies are having a hard time right now. I think it's primarily because they're serving the middle and lower parts of the market while we're serving the upper part of the market and they're buying. And by the way, our churn, when we're losing accounts right now, we're losing bottom half of accounts due to going in-house, right? The marketers are fighting for their jobs. They're taking, like Peter, let's say, not you, Peter, but just Pete.
Peter.
We'll use the word named Pete. So Pete's at some tech company, and Pete did Google ads 4 years ago. And they're like, starting to do layoffs. So Pete's like, whew, let me raise my hand. We don't need that agency. I can run the ads. So we have a lot of like in-house marketers scoping out their responsibilities, things they would have never done when they had budget.
Mm-hmm.
Now to keep their job, they're saying, look, we don't need this agency. I'll just do it. And so as an agency, if you're not getting out of this world results right now, your budgets are going to cut and people are firing you. But conversely, if you're servicing larger accounts, they're actually wanting to grow. So you're retaining your large ones and larger ones are buying. Are you seeing something similar? But that's kind of my hypothesis on like industries.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're, like you said, recession proof probably might not be the right term.
We aren't. No. But
at the same time, like dealing with software and tech companies, like digital is the majority of their growth.
Always. Yeah.
And so at a high level, it's like you decide to just end as a company, or you at least keep the lights on, or you get aggressive and you really lean in on digital growth, which that's our deliverables. And then, I do see like the Pete scenario where it's like, hey, let's take someone in-house. We got to lower expenses here. But at the same time, attribution has gotten to the point where that won't last that long. Like if Pete really hasn't done it for 4 years,
Pete's gonna have a hard time.
He dives in and starts managing all these channels and all this money. Attribution is now at the point, even in the immature companies, where it's gonna stand out like, hey, this isn't working.
And I love
wasting
Pete,
money.
and I trust Pete. But what are the chances Pete might just forget to do some of that attribution if things aren't going so hot? It's nice to have the third party to blame. It's nice to have someone fall on the sword and be like, what's all the data? Like, I gotta go talk to the CMO in 2 hours.
Yeah, but if it's not Pete, someone's doing it.
Someone
is making sure, and it's probably the CRO or the CFO, that it's tied to revenue.
Correct.
And so, yeah, it's just an interesting time where it's like, yeah, it's hard to invest money in something, but digital is the growth engine for the majority of our clients and
100%.
our prospects. So that's where I haven't seen things slow down. If anything, it's, we like long-term relationships, right? We're not just like an in and out type shop. Like we want to be on their team. We want to grow their company through our channels and our deliverables. And so the only thing that's tough is like the risk.